Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. We talk about each week about walking dogs at the shelter, so don't forget that each Saturday we've changed the time to 9:30 so that we can walk the dogs before it gets too hot. So we hope to see everybody out this weekend, and I'm very excited to have my two guests on today because they are volunteers at the shelter. And the unique thing about them is that they are two young people that are showing everybody that you don't have to be adults to make a difference in your community. So I have Elizabeth and Matthew Jennings here today. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
They have been coming to the shelter, walking dogs, and I've been so impressed with what a great job they do with dogs. So I had to ask them to come on and we can discuss all the things that are going on at the shelter. But first, tell me, where do y'all go to school?
BB Common.
We go to BB Comer Elementary School.
And what grades are you going into?
I'm going into 6th.
I'm going to 4th.
Okay. Now, do you remember why you started walking dogs at the shelter?
What's this thing? I had this 4-H thing, and I heard that you could take care of dogs at your local shelter. And then my mom had brought up that we could go walk dogs at y'all's shelter.
Now, when did you start? Do you remember?
We started about 2 weeks ago. I was by myself. He started last week.
Okay. Now, 2 weeks ago, when you first started walking the dogs, like when you got to the shelter, what were you expecting? Is there anything you were expecting?
I was expecting just dogs, and inside the little cage, I was expecting there would be more dogs.
Okay. And now you also like the cats too. We talk
I
so
like
much about
cats.
dogs on here that I want to make sure everybody knows the shelter has cats available. We've got cats available at PetSense too. And I know that you'd like to go in to visit the cats also.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started walking dogs, who was the first dog you ever walked?
Bandit. He may seem scary, but he's actually just a big old sweetheart.
Mine was Hershey.
Hershey? We may have a picture of you walking Hershey. He was a sweet dog. So let's talk about, you were saying that you were afraid that Bandit was scary.
No, he's not scary.
No,
he
not
just
at all.
may seem it to other kids.
So most of the dogs, or pretty much all the dogs there, any dog that we bring out to walk is a sweet dog, right? Because the two of you do such a good job with them. I've watched these two walking the dogs, and they'll make them sit, and they bring them treats, and y'all do such a good job. I feel like you've got a dog at home,
We do.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me about your dog.
Her name is Sally, and she is really energetic. When we first got her, she was scared, so she bit us a little bit, but when she got used to us, she became friendly.
Now, I have a picture of her that will pop up in just a second, so I'll let you know when that comes up on the screen, because she is a pretty dog. And I know that she's prepared y'all to be able to come and walk dogs and do such a good job at the shelter. So with the dogs that you've walked the past couple of weeks, there she is. There's the two of you in the car with her.
That's when we first got her. We found her on the road.
Did you find her on the road? Well, that's a sweet thing that you adopted a dog that you found.
So it turns out she had run away.
Okay.
And
But she
so
also-
we returned her to the owner, and then
He
the
said we
owner,
could have her.
Yes.
Said you could have her.
So here's the thing. Something about Sally. She had made December on the dog calendar.
Okay.
She had made December.
Did she really? So there's a picture of her on the dog calendar. Well, you got a famous dog then.
Yep.
We should do a dog calendar for the shelter dogs. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, ma'am.
They've done that before, so we should do that again because there are a lot of really pretty dogs there, don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me more about with the dogs that you've walked. Tell me one of the funniest or cutest things that you remember.
The cutest thing that I would have to say would be Tiger and Moose.
Okay.
The reason why is because I was sitting down and they had tackled me down because I was we were playing with them because the puppies don't really like to be walked. They like to be loved, adored, affection towards them.
Mine was when they would play around, and so they would have a great time with us.
Okay.
And so when we didn't ask Hershey to sit, and so she sat, and then we gave her a treat for that. And that was the cutest moment.
And like I said, I've been very impressed with how the two of you can get dogs to sit. And that also shows us that we've got some dogs at the shelter that are super sweet and have had some manners taught to them at some point. But here's a picture of the two of you with Moose and Tiger. And so that's a whole litter of puppies that's there. And those puppies, what are there, like 6 in that litter?
They were about 6, 7, or 8.
Okay, so there's a whole We got a lot of puppies at the shelter right now, so we are desperately trying to find homes for them. There's Matthew with Tiger, and then I'm sure we'll have a picture of Elizabeth with Moose. There's Moose.
So Moose is the energetic one. Tiger is like the runt of her litter,
Okay.
because she's like the smallest.
And
But trust me, she is one full
since
of
we
wildness
are
when she
really
gets to know
bigger
you.
than Tiger, she'll sit down, try to stay away from us, but we pick her up, and then if we sit down, she thinks that we're just a dog that's just older.
Okay.
When we sit down, so that means
And she
will
comes
play
up
with
to
us.
you, and yeah. So it's really helpful. I mean, having these two young people on the show can show you that we've got dogs for everybody at the shelter. You have to be 18 to come alone and walk a dog, but of course, Elizabeth and Matthew have their mom Chastity that comes with them, and so they get to walk with their mom, and they get to interact with all the dogs. So the more people we have at the shelter, the more information we can have about the dogs' personalities, because the two of you have done a wonderful job telling us about the dogs. So when we know about personalities, when we have young people come and interact with the dogs, when we have the puppies that get to come out and have people interact with them, it makes it so much easier for us to find a home for them, because we have so much information to share about them. And the puppies get to come out and play and get used to people. So it's been great having the two of you there to show those puppies what they can do, and that they can walk on a leash and get used to things. Now there's Bandit. So that's the first dog you walked, right? Was that the first day you were there?
This was the first day I was here. My brother was out fishing,
Okay.
but also I would say his personality is being lovable, which also I would have to say you should adopt the older dogs, is because they were either gone through like some bad things, and also they need to feel loved, and the puppies don't only need to be the ones.
Yeah.
So here's the problem, is that there's more older dogs than young ones. It's because people want to have the younger ones instead of the older ones.
That's true.
So you should really adopt the older ones, but also adopt the young ones. Just adopt more of the older ones, because there's more of those at shelters that I went to.
If they seem big, they're actually small, but they're just a puppy, but they seem big.
That's true. And well, there you are with Hershey. Look at that. You're getting Hershey to sit to give a treat. I loved that picture, because that shows just how sweet Hershey is.
I would say Hershey is as sweet as the Hershey candy.
And Hershey's very, very lab-like, a chocolate lab, and it's a young dog too. So I'm hoping that, I mean, just like you, even though that Hershey is an adult, not a tiny little puppy anymore, we hope that people will come and meet the older dogs too.
Well, I think that Hershey is energetic. She loves to play with people, because every time I ran, she would run too. When I
Okay.
had the leash, she would just run with me.
So she's a very energetic dog. There's the two of you with Hershey. And so she would probably do best, or is Hershey a boy? Hershey's a boy, isn't he?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But Hershey the dog would do great with a family, I'm sure. So that
Because if she is active and will sit for like kids, she will definitely be able to be with the family with young ones,
absolutely.
since she is so sweet, or he is sweet.
So
So
Hershey,
he would be a perfect one for a family.
Hershey isn't like the one that does like she likes to be with dogs a lot.
Okay.
And so if she's with dogs, she'll figure out that they can teach her something.
Absolutely.
And so people, when they come, they could see her do some new things
They can.
if they
And-
walked her before.
And I don't know if the two of you know, but we also have a foster to adopt situation at the shelter, where if you come and meet one of these dogs and you want to take them home to meet your pets at home or your kids and family at home, you can take them home for a period of time before you officially adopt and make sure they fit in with your household. So that's always important. You were talking about looking at older dogs or younger dogs. It's still important to try to figure out the dog that's great for your household.
I would want. I keep asking if we could take Tiger and Moose home, because they are perfect for they're the perfect family.
They play fight.
They're also so amazing, and our dog Sally, she
loves dogs.
she loves puppies especially. So when she has a chance, she likes to hang out with dogs.
Okay. Now,
She's very social.
yes, so that's good. I mean, maybe at some point there could be another dog in your household, but you also have chickens. Here's a picture of 2 chickens up on the screen.
Okay, those are Pain and Panic. It's because Pain hurt her leg, and then Panic had a panic attack.
Okay,
So we have Pain and Panic from the movie Hercules,
okay. So
which is Hades' henchman.
now, how does Sally get along with the chickens? Does she know
She
that
don't
they're-
get along.
So
She's
you have to
jealous
keep them
of them.
separated.
We have to keep them separated.
Because last time she was over there, she killed 3 of our chickens.
Yeah, unfortunately, that can happen. So it's important when
Because she
you
was feeling a little
keep them
jealous.
separated. Yeah.
A little jealous. And one time I saw Sally lick the chicken's leg.
Uh-oh. So it's best to keep Sally away from chickens so that you can have your chickens.
I was
Happy
trying
and
to move the
healthy.
chicken away because Sally kept trying to attack Pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept moving the cage, and so she kept chasing after it because its tail was sticking out, and she kept trying to bite the tail.
Yeah.
So it got to the point of where I had to tell her to stop it and
Yeah.
behave. But I had to use my mean voice because I kept telling her it softly.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't listen because she was trying to get the chicken's tail. So it got to the point of where I had to move her towards our quail's cage.
And so,
But that's a good thing to talk about because when you're adopting a dog, think about your other animals at home, and your family did a great job figuring out the situation and making it, turning it into something where your dog can live in a household with chickens also, because you're just watching and making sure nothing happens.
So I
But
was
that-
laying down on the
yeah.
floor with her, and so all she does is just start seeing the chicken because it was making noise. Pain was making noises. So she wanted to see what it was, and so when she smelt it, she kind of licked its tail and then tried to bite its tail. So I had to try to pull her back,
So,
but that wouldn't work. So I had to move it,
yeah.
and then she tried to come after me.
So your
So-
family's doing a good job making sure that the
One-
dog and the chickens can live.
one time, so we had this gate that's really loose, and so we had to get a dog named Finn, and he was being picked up. And so he figured out a way to open the gate. He bumped it, and then he opened it, and then Sally and Finn escaped.
Oh no.
But,
So every time,
but
the first
luckily,
time-
Sally was super loyal, so when we called her name, she came back.
Finn had to be chased down.
Yeah. But you got to be super careful and have your dogs in a spot where they don't get
Every
out.
time Finn would come over, the first thing he would do, or the first thing he'll do is they'll escape.
Okay.
He'll try to.
Some
But-
dogs just are good at that.
Yeah, but Sally is really super loyal. She'll listen. She knows what her name is. That's a
great.
good thing.
Well, we appreciate the 2 of you coming to the shelter, and thank you so much for coming on the show. And try to convince your friends to come out and walk dogs too, so that we can have lots of information and a lot of interaction with the dogs. And come on out and join us this weekend. We'll be there. There's Sally right there.
So she just got done with her bath, and she absolutely hates them.
She's
she
funny.
just got done. So we had put her in this
Yeah.
little monkey thing with the head that was Matthew's
But
that
I
he
You
had
can tell
grew
she's
out of.
loved. But
She's
we've
loved.
got all of the dogs besides Sally that we've shown today are available for adoption at the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. So come on out this weekend so that you can meet those dogs. And thanks again for coming on the show, guys. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And we hope to see everybody this Saturday.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought we were gonna say what the animals were.
but you're going to say what?
So pet of the week would be tiger and moose, and
Okay.
that dogs that you should really adopt are Bandit, Violet, and Wilbur.
So we had Violet as our pet of the week last week. So you can watch that episode and meet Violet. And then again, all of those dogs, these 2 wanted them to be pet of the week this week. So thank you for joining us, and we'll have more Daybreak after these messages.